Hi guys, today I'll be showing you something quick for this class. I'll be showing you how to use your basic block to transform it into a princess sim. So let's get to it. Princess sim is quite easy on this basic block actually, unlike when you're using your normal traditional freehand method. So they are just basic, simple rules and you achieve something amazing. So first of all is you need your basic block. So this is a perfect basic block. In case if you don't have a basic block like this, you can purchase my online class on how to construct a perfect professional basic block. Or if yes, you can always do that. Or if you had probably some personal way of your own basic block, in as much as your basic block is having this kind of darts coming with it and your waistline dart, you're fine. But if it does not, you have to draft something like this or something similar to this. So, and it does not matter the kind of textbook you use, whatever textbook you use, you can still apply this same method to it and it will still come out fine. So first thing first, this is a basic block. We need to convert it, a little bit to our client's measurement. So this is our neckline here. So from our neckline down here, I'll be using the measurement of my client shoulder to bust point, that is your shoulder to nipple, which is 10.5 inches. That falls around here. I'll make a dot there because I want my client, the princess cut, to pass through there. So I don't want it to go in too high or too low, so I'll make sure I mark there. Then the next thing I'll mark is the shoulder to the under bust, where the bust stop, which is 14 inches, and I'll also mark there. Another thing you can also consider is your nipple to nipple. For this is giving me 3 inches, means in total that is 7 inches. So for me, I'm fine with that. But depending on your client, you can always take your nipple to nipple and use that to adjust. But this is 7 inches in total, so I'm fine. I'm good with that. So we can now start properly. Once we have that 3 in place, we are good to go. This is our armhole. So the proper rule is you measure this front armhole and you divide it into 2. That is why it is good to have a proper basic block, because if you have a destructed basic block or you don't have a good armhole, that law might malfunction. So we measure our armhole. This is the proper way to measure your armhole actually. You measure your armhole with your tape rule standing, and there's a professional tape rule actually too for you to measure armhole. You can purchase that or Google it, you'll see it. Usually blue and white like this. It's flexible, called like the flexible ruler. That one is much more easier to measure, unlike this. But when you're using this one, we put it standing. So we put it this way, following the line. Then here, so here I have 8. That is 8 for everything. So I will go here and I will do 8 divided by 2. That will be 4. So 4. Then I'll mark my point 4. Then we are done with the tape rule for now. We put it aside. Now we come in with our French curve. So there is no particular rule at this point teaching you on how the curve should be, because different styles and different designs, they varies in different styles, they vary in different designs. But let's go with what this shape of this French curve is giving me here. I think I'm loving this. So I do this all the way to the bust point. I draw my line this way all the way to the bust point. This is good. Now you see how that is taken in here already. So from the end of the dart down here, so not from the middle, from this dart leg here, that is when we'll be taking ½ inch inside, and that ½ inch is for contouring. We want to take in the excess in that line so we can have much more of a beautiful shape. So we are not going with this middle, the one dotted line at the middle. We are not going with this dart leg we've drawn. We are drawing a new one that has to pass through this lane. So let's put our French curve there and draw our line. Beautiful. We do the same thing to the other side, from the bust point and take it to that line too. Beautiful. Then we blend in with our French curve. Usually for me, I don't like seeing angles on pattern. It's just my thing. Well, it's professional thing too, but I don't like seeing angles. Angles should not actually be on your pattern, so be careful. If you must have angles, be careful most of the time. It's good it's blending in. The woman body does not actually have angles, so we want to make them round and looking beautiful. So I think you can see what I mean. You would have seen some people's pattern looking like caving here, then just going like like a bulldozer cut off something there, but no, it's usually good if it's smooth, so you can barely notice anything. At the end of the day, this on the garment will be looking like a straight line, but still close to the body. It will be looking like a straight line when you're done sewing, but it is still going to be very, very close to the body. That means no excess, no bulkiness, nothing. So now we connect it back to this dart. So it means we are not alternating anything on our waistline, and we just go all the way down back to our usual dart. So we are not alternating much. So the next thing is the interesting part, how we transfer this dart to this point. So let me quickly do that so you can see. We need to cut off. So let me show you how. You cut through the nail point for the bust, for the princess cut. You cut it to the bust, cut it to the bust point. So now you have something like this. You can see they are still together despite that we've cut them separately. So this is where the magic finally happened. We close here. So by closing here, we automatically transfer our dart to this point. There are different methods of closing, but for this purpose of this class, I'll just do this closing one. I have a detail of it in my page 4 class, but for here I'll just do this closing one because it's quicker actually. And that is it. Now no dart here any longer, and look at what has happened. This part is opened, this part is opened, so it means by the time we sew them together, this part is going to be popping up. By the time we sew it together, it's going to be popping up, and we'll be fine with that. So at this point, I want to cut it out and insert the funnel inside. So for the side funnel, you can see the design I'm showing you, the picture of the design. There's a funnel art inside. So this is what we do. It's very easy. For your waist, make sure you measure your waist. You have 4 here, so I'm going to do 2. So that is dividing it into 2. Just make sure you divide the waist into 2. For the rest of the panel, or for the rest of the pattern, you can always highball, because I can tell the line is going towards the armhole, so I can always pivot my ruler to just split that waist into 2, or you measure the remaining of the armhole and also split it into 2. Yes, so we are going to be cutting this part away, and we're going to be putting the funnel. So let me quickly cut so you see. Okay, so now we are at the final part of assembling it with the form of a masking tape. So I know there's a usual practice in freehand whereby you guys like to add an additional to this point. You believe that by the time you start sewing, that it doesn't match up at the end of the day. Well, that is not so true. That usually happens because of your method of sewing. So it's one part usually drag beyond one part. So next time I'll advise you, when you want to sew something like this, make sure you have a notch for your nipple to the nipple point where it's kissing. So you can bring it this way and stitch. Make sure you stitch this part, then leave that part and go to the nipple, make it match and sew. Make sure you drag it a little bit of tension, that you make it join. That is the way your cup can really come out well, because to be straightforward is they are together, so there should be nothing alternating the length. So I hope you get my point. So let's move to the point I'm saying, the piecing up. So the piecing up is usually much more beautiful when we do it on paper from behind. So I hold down the nipple to nipple first, then I go all the way using my paper tape. So let me reveal it to you now. Look at what we have, guys. Look at how beautiful it's looking. Look at. So this is one of the purpose of piecing together. In case you have stuff like this, you can always come with your pen and chalk it, remark it to whatsoever you want. And you can always trim so it rhyme well. Exactly. So look at what we have here. You can see, look at the way our piece of paper is looking already. So imagine how it will be molding around your body as the finished garment. So all you just need is to cut out these lines, separate them, and put your seam, that is your sewing allowance, your seam allowance, then join it back together and you will have exactly this. See how beautiful this is looking. Amazing. So see you in class. Bye.